down.
Spider 2 wide banana. The line slides to the left. Watch the young back cut down the defensive end, but there's a beautiful banana.
There's 3 quarterbacks in this football team. Whichever one starts. Whichever ones don't, we'll back them up. Period. Cut and dry. Next.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Welcome to the TW Podcast. Today's May 7th, 2020. We are sitting here live from my second floor bedroom here, the second bedroom of the house here. And days are starting to, I keep saying it every week, mesh together. Right now, it's Thursday. I know that because I looked at my calendar shortly ago. But days just really mesh together here right now. I'm really getting excited for, the 16th to get here. As far as I know, on the 16th, I can go back to the office. I can start working more normally than from my home. And I think I'll thoroughly enjoy that now. It's been a long time coming. That you never realize how you miss something till it's been gone from you for a while. And my office isn't exactly the Taj Mahal, but I miss it, and I miss being around my staff every day. I say staff, but reality they're my friends, and it's just you miss that constant interaction. Not that we don't get interaction now. It's just either 6 feet apart or on Zoom. Zoom in itself, I'm getting sick of. So, but it's Thursday. You'll get the podcast dropped to you on Friday the 8th. Today's show we're gonna go. I'm gonna have my graduating seniors of the Finlandia football team on the podcast. These 3 gentlemen are, I've known them for quite a long time now. They're 3 outstanding gentlemen that make me laugh. Got to really know these 3 guys because they have persevered and showed true sisu through the tough times of the beginning of this program. But I'm excited to talk to them, really talk about what their plans are here that they graduated last week, and going forward and making their stamp on the world. And I'm excited to talk to those 3 guys. I'm sure it'll be some laughs and some pat on the backs and probably some harassment. I am 100% sure that they will, now that I'm not their head football coach, probably take some shots at me. So, whatever it is, we'll talk with those 3 guys, as well as I want to talk about a documentary I watched called McMillions, about the McDonald's Monopoly game. Watch on Amazon Prime. As well as, we're going to do our staples here. We'll have the Netflix movie of the week, which is one I'm super excited about. And we'll also do the 3 and out with the third down. I guarantee is going to be a special surprise for people out there. But, hey, let's get into the podcast. All right. We got 3 gentlemen joining the podcast here. We have Wilson Spreier. Say hello, Wilson.
Hello. Hi.
We have Addison Martin.
Hello.
And we have Bryce Beauchaine.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Bobby. So, how you boys doing?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
Pretty good, not too bad. You guys are a very talkative bunch out here today. Just like
Oh,
normal.
we're going in order.
Well, just your turn, Addison. You may go now.
Oh, I'm just splendid. Wonderful times.
Wonderful times.
Great attitude. Love Addy.
Bryce looks like he's old, like he's like 42 years old already, like an old man back there.
Yeah, I feel pretty old. Yeah. Just been enjoying this quarantine, taking advantage of the time I have.
Well, that's good to hear. First question I want to ask is, Here's just one you guys can all answer at once. Did you guys do the virtual graduation?
I did not.
You did not?
Not yet, no.
Wasn't it like last week?
I don't know. I know there's a thing we
Yeah,
have to do.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's piss poor. But, well, I assume you guys' classes went well and you're officially going to graduate, correct?
That's
What
correct.
I'm hearing.
Well, that's
Yep.
the good news. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear it. You guys are coming from the 2016 recruiting class, which is one of the OG recruiting classes in the Finlandia football program. So I just kind of want to go around. I want to see. Let me know what just fill me in a little bit. What you guys been up to since basically the drop of whatever day there in March where they're like, move out of the dorms, everybody. There's no more classes here, or you do online classes. Fill me in on what you guys been up to since that point. We'll start with that. Wilson, let's go.
I've been working more. Picked up a lot of shifts from work. Work like 1:30 to 8 almost every day.
So you're saying work because you don't want people out there to know you're at Burger King right now. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm BK. I'm a trainer.
Now, hold up. I do have a sidebar question on that. Our men's basketball coach said one of y'all's players has a player that works at Burger King, and he gave me extra chicken nuggets. Is that a true story, and was it you?
I don't know. Maybe. Sure. We're going to say yeah.
Good for you. I'm proud of you for that, all right? Take credit where credit is due. So you've been working a lot. Anything else you've been doing?
I moved into an apartment.
Well, you moved into an apartment. That's good news. Now, it's just so everybody else knows out there, you really stink at Madden. You're a bottom dweller in my Madden league, and it's pretty embarrassing. Wilson might have froze. That might be actually okay for him.
Yeah. What was it?
I said you stink in my Madden league. Like, you're terrible.
Bro, dude, my quarterback's a 72 now. Dude, that's what's up.
Oh, a 72.
Yeah, I'm building youth, baby. Dude, my guards, all 70, both backups and starters.
Jeez.
That's key, bro. That's key.
I bet you it is key.
And Howard as my running backs. Come at me. My defense is all right.
Okay. What about you, Addison? What you been up to?
Not much. Just been working a lot, playing a lot of video games, spending a lot of time with my fiance.
Well, that is a good thing. Where are you working at right now?
I'm working as a grocery stocker at Meijer.
Well, stocking groceries is a fun job.
It's not bad. I don't mind it.
No, it's actually pretty fun. Now, you got any – I remember before everything was going down, you said you were going to have to go do some training. Did you have to go do some training recently?
No, that actually got canceled. And so far, we don't have any sort of Army thing for like the next 2 months or so.
Well, you're still getting paid for that stuff, right? You only get paid when you're actually training.
We only get paid when we're actually training, but we've been doing this virtual drill thing, so it's not bad.
So you get paid during virtual drill?
Yep.
Well, hell yeah, that's a good deal now.
Yeah, so I had to make a PowerPoint last month, so it wasn't that bad.
Well, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What we got going up here, Bryce? What you got going on?
Well, yeah, just basically finishing up my classes. I ended up moving back home because I started a new job a little over a week ago and just been working since.
What are you doing?
I am currently a corrections officer in Wisconsin for a sheriff's department.
Oh, and they got you working 6:30 to 6:30?
Yep, just got off not too long ago, yeah.
I was assuming you had your old mill job and you were that was why you were going to look like a disgruntled old man by now.
Nope, I decided to go a different route when I came back home.
Well, very good. Now, let's my next question is, I want the viewership here. I want you guys to tell us what your major is, what you got, and what you plan on doing in the future. Like right now, it's not for you guys. It's not an easy time to be graduating because a lot of people are not going to be hiring right away. You know, Bryce is already sounds like he's got a job kind of already in what his is, but I know you two boys down here are history guys. So, you know, what do you guys plan on doing?
Well, I'm a history major. Next year, I'm planning on being the assistant coach at Finlandia, hopefully, and something with the school and admissions counseling, or something with that, or being some type of part-time guy.
Now, you're wanting to be a football coach, you know, and it's a really fun career. But for me to trust you to be on my staff, I need you to be honest and tell everybody out here in the world that for the past 4 years we have lied on your height on the game day program. Wilson at no point in time has ever stood at 5'10". He's probably 5'7 3/4, about a quarter inch shorter than me. So, you know, I just want to hear you say it that you're not 5'10".
Whoa. Who was measuring that day? Who was it? Not Matlack. Who's the other coach?
You gotta understand, as football coaches, we were hoping you were 5'10".
Yeah, I know. My mom lied about that, all right? I told her 5'9", okay? I'm 5'8". I'm at least 5'8". All right? I'll say I'm 5'8".
What about you, Addison? What do you got planned, man?
Well, at some point within the next couple months, I'm going to apply for Northern and get my teaching certificate there and hopefully become a teacher and a football coach somewhere. And then after that, getting married.
When is your wedding date? Did you guys pick one yet or no?
August 14th of 2021.
August 14th.
Yep.
Nice summer wedding. You guys gonna get married in Ishpeming or what?
That's what we're thinking.
Well, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
It's going to be a superhero wedding as well.
Getting married, you know, if you need help with that, getting into that, you know, at Northern, you know, I don't like to say other schools, but, you know, in Northern Michigan, I could help you out. So just let me know.
All righty.
But that'll be good. Are you planning on coaching this fall or?
I'm going to try to, at least couple of schools around here.
Okay. Well, get after it, man. That's fun. All you got to do is go ask guys, okay? And I'll tell you right in the beginning, being a high school coach, they don't ever want to pay you, so don't go in there thinking you're going to get any money out of the gig. Just say, hey, man, I want to volunteer, and then if they like you long enough, they end up paying you.
Nice.
At least that's my experience. So, what about you, Bryce?
I am a criminal justice major, and I guess down the road, I'd like to be on the road either as like a deputy or like maybe work for the state or like the city.
Now, you're working in the jail.
Correct.
Like how's that going? Are you intimidated by the inmates of those cell blocks? Are they getting you a little nervous? Because I know you didn't hit the weight room very hard while you were here, so probably most of those guys could probably whoop your ass. So, you know, I just get a little curious how you do.
At first, you know, a little intimidated. It's now getting better, but you know, we also house state inmates at this jail, so you know, the crimes vary from, you know, murderers to, you know, sex crimes and stuff. So, you know, yeah, and these guys, you know, they're in there for like 20, 30 plus years. You know, They don't really have a lot to lose, and you know, I still want to be able to do things in my life. So yeah, you know, you got to be careful every day, and
100%.
You can't, you can't show you're intimidated or anything, though.
100%. I asked that because one of my former high school coaches, he's a prison guard out in Newberry, and he would tell me just nightmare stories that go on But he's like, you got to be on full alert 100% of the time. Like, a lot of these guys, you know, when you're working in prisons, especially specifically, like some of those guys, they're in there for life. They're not ever getting out. They will do whatever they want to do to stir the pot, anything to get them extra cred. So, you know, that's just something you got to keep your head on a swivel and never back down to those guys at any point in time. So,
Yep.
now here's a good question. All right, what are you guys gonna miss most? You know, now that you won't be playing football, what's the part of the game you're gonna miss the most?
Can we name like 2 things?
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna miss the Bubs group chat and the the off season really. Like just hanging out with everybody in the morning and lifting weights. I'm gonna miss that a lot. Like, a lot. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Addison?
With Wilson on the off-season grind, that was always the most favorite part about football, was just training, and especially in the weight room. But another thing is just all the camaraderie with everybody.
Now, do you think like the reason why you like the weight room so much, you're gonna miss it the most, is because that's where you spent a majority of your time actually getting to know your teammates and you know, pushing each other a little bit?
I'd say so. I'd say that was a big part.
Because I know that in the weight room, tempers can fare high or low in there, but usually that's when you get to know somebody, is when somebody gets pissed off, and then you got to come to an understanding and a mutual agreement with one another. So, Well, what about you, Bryce?
I'm gonna miss hanging out with the boys mostly, and then also I'm gonna miss traveling. I thought that was a really fun experience too. That came with football, getting to see new places.
Are you gonna miss when like somebody would show up late to a workout and you'd have to do up downs because that person was late?
I am not gonna miss that. I thought there maybe should have been a different more like a different punitive model, you would say.
If I was to change the punitiveness of that, I would have actually probably said make Bryce do 2 more than everybody else. Hey, man, that's the thing about it is, you know, sometimes you get some teammates that are great teammates you never have to worry about. They're going to show up. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. And there's guys who don't care, and those are the most difficult guys to play with, because you're like, man, like, do you care enough? This is not the way that I saw it going. You know, like some of these kids just think that they don't have to work out that hard, or they need their part-time guy. You know, it's college football. I don't care if we're Division 3, 2, or 1. You got to lift weights, and you got to run, and you got to get better. It's the only way you're going to be successful in the sport. So, but all right, I don't want to pat my own ego, so I'm not going to ask you the question, who's your favorite coach? Because I got a feeling all 3 of you guys would say me. Yeah, quit smiling, Wilson.
What?
But, you know, over the 4 years that you guys have been here, who else has been your favorite coach? Wilson, it's tough for you. You were stuck with me for 4 years in the O-line room. You got bulk of me. Same with you, Bryce. Like, at least Addison got, you know, other points of view half the time.
Oh, I had a lot of variety over my time.
There's no question. So, or, you know, if you don't want to say your favorite, you can just share a story of a coach that you really enjoyed, even if it's going to embarrass that coach a little bit. Not inappropriate embarrass, but maybe embarrass him a little bit.
All right. So I'm going to go Metlack, right? Reason why Metlack, right? So right before he left Christmas, like for after Christmas break, he told me if I got my grades straight, that Wilson, you would be a team captain. And me and him fought all the time on the field. TW, you know, when I ran power, I yelled at him because I told him that was my guy. And then we always fought back, and he still liked me at the end. And then Coach Bell, and Tuesday because they helped me on my snapping.
Okay.
My junior year, and they were always positive. And Coach Perkle's dope too. So.
All right, Addison, what do you got? Yours is my most curious one.
Oh, let's see here.
Considering that you played multiple positions and
yes.
you kind of had a lot of different coaches.
I'd say Perkle was big favorite of mine. Spent a lot of time with him. Another one would probably be Boss. Loved Boss. And then I also enjoyed spending a lot of time with Sarton this last year.
What about that linebacker coach?
Oh, Greg. Oh, I love Greg.
Greg was a great guy.
Should have brought him back.
Great guy.
Now,
that's
Addison,
the biggest mistake of Finlandia history is not bringing back Greg Sagara.
my biggest question, is it true that he beat you in one-on-one basketball, Addison?
Yes, I was a witness.
It's true. But the way he did it was pure luck. I had never seen a man shoot so many threes and airball them, except for the last three needed in order to win the game.
That's just that's a Michael Jordan trait right there. Just game time's on the line, make that bucket.
Exactly what happened.
Bryce, you look like you're about to pass out, brother. What do you got up there?
Well, I felt like you expected different answers so far from what you were asking of these guys, but my favorite coach probably was. I would say I'll give it to you. I'll let your ego grow a little bit, and then I enjoyed our meetings. You know, I never had a true tight ends coach really. So I was always either with the O-line, maybe like fullbacks, maybe like running backs, like a little bit or something, or wide receivers too. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed being with the O-line, having you as my position and head coach the most. So
Well, I think it was tough being a tight end where we kind of split you up, so the O-line coach didn't have to sit there and install pass routes and watch the O-line go, huh? What?
yeah.
I mean, that's the most difficult because, Wilson, that would go way over his head, all right? And then, like, all of a sudden he'd ask why you ran a route incorrectly one time, and I'll be like, Wilson, shut up. Why don't you go fumble the snap again?
Bro? How would I even know what you're doing?
Again?
I don't even know what you're doing. Yeah, no, that's a lie.
The nice part is Bryce, you fit right into the room. Like, as I told you, probably in your second year, you just got to become a grizzled old veteran early and just be that guy's like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And you walk in and you just start doing the work. You're still doing it. It just took me looking at that little redheaded kid carrying in that jugs machine just to put you over that limit at that time and let you know that you need to find somebody else to do that. And that's
I fit that role. Yeah.
That's how you ended up in the O-line room, because you're going to be grouchy. And you're going to ask to run inserts 16 times.
Nothing wrong with that best play.
In a row, you would ask me to run insert 16 times in a row.
I would not complain once.
Well, you drop like one or two of them, so like.
That's, I don't know. I'd like to maybe see some like huddle on that, but for clarification. But
once video proof.
Film.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys got planned for the rest of the night? I know we got here. It's what time we got here? 8:23. What do you guys got planned for the night? Addison's probably got to hang out with his fiance. Wilson's probably going to say, I'm going to play Call of Duty. And Bryce is going to say he's got to go to sleep because he's got to wake up at 6:30 tomorrow.
Sounds about right. Hey,
not too far from the truth.
Take me off autopilot.
Well, are you actually going to play games like and not lose by 50?
Bro, you deal with the Steelers 2 times a year.
I deal with them once every year and usually in the playoffs. So
Oh, yeah, sorry. You don't have to deal with Saquon Barkley getting missed tackles like 5 different times.
Hey,
And
man,
rushing
he's
400.
pretty good. He's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I know. But yeah, you can take me off. I'm done with finals.
Okay. I guess I can put you back on. I mean, I'm just beating everybody in the league this year. I beat the
But
Super
you
Bowl
lost.
champion, Wilson.
Your brother's good too. Your brother's the Arizona Cardinals, right?
No, that's not my brother.
Oh, well, he's good. I don't know.
His
Yeah.
name is Ethan, and me and him played high school football together. And he's
I don't
a
know
friend
half
of
the
mine.
guys.
We're not brothers. But, I mean, Bryce, you need to get an Xbox now that you got a job and get into the league so I can play you twice a year. Like, if you get in the Jets division, you can play me twice a year, and I'll just talk smack to you on my headset the entire time.
You're the only one that talks.
That's correct. I am the only person who actually
Everybody
puts on
else
their
doesn't
headset.
talk.
And sometimes I make people put their headset on to talk because it enhances my game by tenfold.
Oh, dude, for sure. I need to
Yeah,
start doing
But playing,
yeah. Fun fact: I just got an Xbox, so
there
maybe
you
we'll
go.
have to play.
You got Madden?
No, I haven't got Madden yet, but first paycheck's rolling around, so.
Well,
maybe I
if you
could
go to your
push
local
something
Walmart, it's
around.
probably only like $28.
All right.
And Wilson over here is trash. So if you want to get in that division, I understand to play him twice.
Don't do it. The Steelers, bro, don't do it. I got to deal with the Steelers 2 times a year. It is rough.
And Addison, if you want, you got an Xbox. You're like a PS4 guy, aren't you?
No, I have an Xbox.
Well, why are you staying quiet? Why don't you want to get in the league?
I don't have Madden.
Ugh.
I just pretty much play Call of Duty.
Here's the worst part about playing Wilson in Madden.
Oh, yeah,
Wilson's got to like
you're
overanalyze and tell you
you're
everything
0-1.
going on.
You're 0-1 against me, baby. Let's go. Bring
Hey,
it.
coach, it's just like you taught me. I got to do simple pizza math and count the blocks and see if I can run the ball or not.
And I beat you, didn't
Using my
I?
words against me
yeah.
all these years. Like now he wants to throw it against me because he got 4 yards on a crappy run play. Like,
Hey, whatever. You get excited on the field if we get 4 yards every run.
and then all he does is like roll out and try to throw to a guy that is not even in the like play anymore. He's just like, yeah, that's just a design play. If I sprint all the way to the left and then throw to my right.
Hey, you lost to me, so that tells you something.
Yeah, I'm salty about it. Like I'm still salty about it. Like that's like your first time I think you probably ever beat me.
No, when we had that one league 2 years ago. Wait, yeah. I beat you a couple times.
Well, when we had NCAA in the office about a year
Okay, that's a different story now.
I was like 12-0. Like nobody could beat me.
Hey,
Not a single soul in that program.
you and Liam were close, all right?
And all I do is run the ball. I'd run power and like ice, and you guys couldn't handle it. You guys are all doing.
Nobody can handle ISO.
Well, all these guys are doing is doing these fancy concepts. All I do is run the ball and throw to my tight end. Just the way Bryce likes it. All right. You guys got any final thoughts before we end the old deal here?
Oh, I don't think so.
You guys are such a riveting bunch. Like, it's unbelievable. You know, it is
you want me to be like Wolliver and crying? What's going on here?
You know, it's difficult to have 4 guys on a podcast and talk at once. So, but you guys should be able to watch the podcast when I post it. I know Bryce has basically blackballed me from every piece of social media since I was his coach. So now that you're out in the real world, bud, you're allowed to add me on the Snapchats, the Twitters, those kind of things. So do it.
Okay.
Because I told you to.
Yeah, I already follow you on Twitter though.
Well, good.
So I'll make sure I get you on a Snap though.
Now, when I put this in the podcast, I'll let you guys know that I'm putting a nice little remembrance package of you 3 at the end of this deal. So it's worth a good watch for you 3, and I should be posting it tomorrow morning. So I know Spreier's dad will be super juiced. Like, he'll think it's the sweetest thing ever because your dad's just a guy And
Oh, dude,
enjoys things.
you have to have to get another surgery.
No. On
Yeah,
the same issue we had?
yeah.
Wow.
It's not like bad, but it's pretty bad.
Well, maybe I should reach out to your old man here soon then. But
Yeah, he might
all
like
right,
that.
boys. We'll call it a night. It was good to see all three of you. I know, like your next question before we leave, like you guys are gonna try to interject. Hey, coach, what about our jerseys? All right, I'm working on a deal for you guys. Don't worry about it. I wanted to send you guys something special since we didn't get to have, our banquet kind of here in the spring. So um, I'll get you guys taken care of. I might have to text you for some addresses to get you guys some things, but I'll take care of you. But all right, boys, we have a good night. All right,
You
Yeah, thank
too.
you. Thank you for
Yeah,
having us.
coach.
see ya.
Love yous. Bye.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, I can't sleep. Standing on.
All right, so this week I watched a documentary. It was called McMillions. It's an HBO documentary. Right now you can watch it in case you guys want to watch it and you don't want to listen to kind of my review of it and what happened. I won't go into extreme detail on it. But right now you can watch it for free if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, I don't understand why you don't have Amazon Prime. It's the easiest way to shop, blah, blah, blah. Amazon, maybe one day you can pay me to make the little push I made there for you. But watch on Amazon Prime. And at first, I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. All I knew is it had to do with McDonald's and the Monopoly game that you're able to play there. Which, let's just take a little pause for a second. The McDonald's Monopoly game that is played every year. Sometimes they have played it multiple times during a year. Is and was one of my favorite things growing up. Like I enjoyed going there, getting a drink, and taking my 2 game passes off it. Putting on, back then, you got to get like a little actual board, and like you got to place down there. You got to see if you're going to win something, and it was rather exciting. As I got older, it only meant that I was eating way too much McDonald's at that time. As well as I've seen the movie Super Size Me recently, and that scares the hell out of me of what McDonald's can do to my body and things like that. So calm down on the McDonald's and fast food in general. But I'm kind of trailing off thought here, but the Monopoly game, okay? Love collecting the pieces, love getting a free breakfast sandwich or a free French fry, whatever I was going to get. I was rather excited. So, I always thought the game was, I never heard of what was going on in this documentary. So, I just love playing. I knew a neighbor down the street. I can't remember the exact money she won, but it was kind of after the Monopoly game and set in this documentary because it was more like 2003 or so. But she actually won a larger sum of money playing Monopoly. We're all pretty jealous on the block that we did not win, but it was nice to see somebody in my small community of Escanaba win. So that was cool. But on to the documentary, okay? Basically, in this documentary, somebody tipped off the FBI about that the McDonald's Monopoly game was rigged. And to look into the people who have won are all related. Most of them are related in some sort of way. And that's kind of the start of the documentary. And, in the beginning, you're sitting there going, well, it's got to be McDonald's, right? Like, McDonald's just want to give out free money left and right. Like, who would want to do that if you're a big business like them making billions of dollars? You didn't make billions of dollars by giving away money. I know that. So at first you're just sitting there and you're just assuming it's going to be McDonald's. But the FBI, one of the guys, he wasn't in charge of the case, but he kind of ran the case. He starts going, like, he was working on another case that he found absolutely boring, doing with healthcare. So when this tip came in, the FBI was kind of like brushing it off, like, it's nothing. And he was a young guy. He was like, you know what, this seems way more interesting than what I am doing. I'm going to follow up on this lead and see what it's about. So basically, he contacted that person, got some more information, got the names of the people that won, let them know that they were related, and they started doing some detective work and found out, yes, they are. There's a string here together of people that have won. And they decided that when they start putting evidence together and they got themselves an attorney that would try the case, they had to go out there and kind of almost catch these people in the act for the most part. It was not going to be, it was going to be hard to find out who they were. So they brought McDonald's in. And McDonald's is appalled when they find out their game has been rigged, how there's all these people that are connected that are winning. So you find out McDonald's is not in on this situation, which is, at first I really thought they were. There was no way I thought McDonald's was going to be clean of this, and they were just giving money to people who had to, either get raises or payoffs or whatever it was. Maybe it was in the family, but nope, I was wrong. So basically, McDonald's doesn't do any of their promotional work, is what you find out. They outsource that. They outsource it to companies. So the company that they outsource this to is where you find out is where the leak is coming from. There's a guy that goes by the name of Uncle Jerry, and Uncle Jerry is the man that you would contact to get a game-winning piece. So there is lots of, to win, you had to have, the corresponding pieces that, if you're playing Monopoly, all right, I got to get Park Place, and I got to get, all these places, and I win X amount of dollars, or I could have an instant $1 million winner. All these winning tickets that were supposed to be going out in the promotion, so they go out, but he was holding on to them, and basically had his own racket on how to make money off it. And nobody could figure this guy out for a while. But the big news was McDonald's they had a monopoly coming up within the next month, and they were going to run it, and they wanted to put an agent undercover to basically find out any information that they can and try to get these people's stories that have won, and try to find a little false information that they give. So basically, when they get down to it, they find out that Uncle Jerry, there's two Jerrys. One has some mob ties, and one Jerry works at the business that that's the outsourced company for McDonald's, and they're all that stuff. But it was an intriguing story, and I don't want to give everything away. I'll try to revert from a lot of it, but if you think that was just them stealing money and that was it, it's a lot more intricate than that. I mean, this guy was manipulating people to get, if you want one of these game pieces, you need to pay me now X amount of dollars, making people mortgage their homes to pay him up front to get a game-winning piece. And then once they got the game-winning piece, you didn't have, most of the people weren't taking the lump sum right at once. They were going, all right, I'll get paid, X amount of dollars for every month till it's all paid off. And every time that came in, he was getting a cut. And you find out there's two Jerrys getting the cut. And the person who won the game-winning ticket was not getting a great deal out of the whole thing here. I mean, they were getting money, but they weren't getting the full lot. So it was just mind-blowing. I just couldn't believe it. Like it was an addicting kind of show. Like, I had to keep watching. Like, they're hour episodes. I want to say it was 6 episodes, and I definitely wiped out 3 rather quickly. And then the next day, wiped out the next 3 rather quickly. And I just sat there, jaw kind of, what? You know, of just something that was going, like, this isn't like it just happened like, oh, this happened for 3 years, it was rigged. It happened since it started. 1984, when they started this promotion, it was going on all the way up to 2001 where they got caught. That's mind-blowing in its own, all right? To have a rigged system like that going on, and then you find out that's not the only rigged system they got in the bag here to get things going. I mean, it blew my mind. You know, because you always thought it was an honest game, like you had a chance to win, you know, and in reality you just didn't. And even after the fact, you find out McDonald's, the odds of winning were less than they were leading on to. It was very impossible to win. I also found out that back then you could go get a magazine and they had game pieces in the magazine. That's what blew my mind. If I would have known that, I would have went and bought a damn magazine back then. Or you could go up to, since it couldn't be considered gambling, because that was a big no-no with the government. So basically, if somebody walked in the store and asked for a free game piece, somebody had to give them a free game piece. If I would have known that, I would have went there every day and asked for a free game piece. But anyways, before I get off on that tangent, it was mind blowing. And how do we, how does McDonald's, they, after that, they had to try to make up for it. Like, especially when the jig was up with the outsourced company and the guy that was running that racket. But now even McDonald's is getting looked at like, you guys weren't going to let us win the big prizes anyways. So like the following year, they went out and gave like $25 million worth of prizes in the Monopoly game, like made it easier for people to win, which I still didn't win in 2002. I know that. But growing up, I would have thought I would have heard of this story. I really did. Like, the Monopoly game was rigged. I played the McDonald's Monopoly all the time. Every time it was out, I was going to play it. I was excited to play it. And I never heard this. And, when I'm watching the documentary, I see when the case actually hit the news, it was like a week, 2 weeks before 9/11. So once 9/11 happened in 2001, nobody's covering that story when there is so much other things to cover that in reality was probably, is a lot more important, except for, the fear of everything going on. That I could go a whole podcast about, 9/11, my day of 9/11, or go over just the stuff that was on the news at that time. And even after that, for 2 years, 3 years after, just, seeing those sites, I don't even want to go into it right now. But, that's why you don't hear about it. Because it almost got covered up by, a national tragedy that this kind of just went kind of by the wayside. Good thing for HBO. Like, I would have never known about it if they didn't do this documentary and randomly saw it, figured, hey, might as well watch it. Looks like a good watch. So if you guys got some time to watch it, I suggest you do. Fantastic. It's not just, white-collar crime, as some people may call it, or it's got a lot of intricacies and a lot of interviews with a lot of different people, between some of these guys that had mob connections and other rackets that were going on at the same time with these people, trying to get these, the actual footage of them trying to get the stories of how these people actually won their games and find that hole in their story. It was great detective work. It was great to watch. If you got Prime, I suggest you watch it. If you got HBO Go or whatever they got as a system, whatever it is, go watch it. It's a good watch. All right, let's start wrapping up the podcast. Let's get to Netflix movie of the week. This week I picked Extraction. All right, it's an action movie that is militarized kind of movie, Chris Hemsworth plays a man who basically does the wet work, the underground military operative, and from Australia, just like he is in real life. But this is a movie that was made by the Russo brothers, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. There's action all over the place. There's the explosions. There's gunshots. There's hand-to-hand combat that blows your mind away, as well as a good storyline that makes you kind of follow along. It wasn't boring at any point. I was on the edge of my seat the entire movie. Loved it. But let's get into 3 and out. All right. Okay. First down. All right. This week, Don Shula passed away. Whoever doesn't know who Don Shula is, what the hell's wrong with you? But Don Shula, a very successful football coach, coach for the Miami Dolphins for a very long time. Probably what he's most known for. But he passed away this week. He was a 2-time Super Bowl winner, 4 times Coach of the Year in the NFL. He has the record for most NFL wins of all time with 347. Sad day in the football world. Don Shula was a hell of a man, hell of a football coach. He'd be dearly missed. I remember Chuck Klingbeil, a great friend of mine who passed away. He would always tell Don Shula stories from when he was down in Miami, and they always never disappointed. But rest in peace, Don. We'll all be thinking about you. All right, second down. All right, it's the NCAA Mental Health Week. All right, in Division III. I've been practicing myself some mental health. Getting out of the house. Don't just sit around here and do nothing all day. Got out the other day, took a walk, went to the field, kind of reminisce a little bit of some great things that happened on that field here in Finlandia. Was very excited about that. But it's a serious thing. Mental health is not something to laugh at or anything like that. It's a serious issue, especially now with all of us kind of sitting at our homes and dwelling on this COVID-19 business, and and eventually we're going to get back out to normal. But practice these mental health exercises. They're getting posted by our athletics Twitter and Facebook and everything like that. Very good ideas on how to improve your mental health. But big thing for me, sometimes you just got to take a time out during the day and take a breath and just sit back and relax a little bit. Don't just put every stress of the world on your shoulders, because it's not just going to be you. It's it's everybody working together. You got to keep a clear mind, keep a clear head, and work hard. So, Mental Health Week. All right, third down. Pretty excited. All right, people that are very close to me, my wife and I, Christina, they know that my wife is 5 months pregnant. So for you people out there who didn't know, I'm having a baby this September. Maybe you might have a little not raffle, but some sort of contest to see who picks the right date. And maybe it'll be a weight, or maybe it'll be something along those lines. But just yesterday, we got blood tests back, and we went and had an ultrasound, and we found out the gender of our baby. And I am ecstatic to report that I will be having a baby boy coming this September. Pretty excited about it. I've always, when I thought about having children, I always thought about having a son. Not saying if I would have had a daughter, I would have been disappointed. I know I could handle a girl. It would be great. But personally, I'm really excited to have a boy. But that's 3 and out. That's the show to this week. Sorry I missed last week. I was a little bit busy with my actual full-time job. I got a lot of things going on. So had to take a week off. Back on the podcast. This is the end of episode 5. Look forward to next week. Hope everybody is staying healthy, safe, wearing your masks, staying protected. But everybody stay safe out there. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.